Okay. Okay, but I'm sorry, it's not me. Okay, talk to him. No, ma'am, don't talk to me like that. I'm an adult. Do not talk to me like that. Do not talk to me like that. Tell him to stop.
But I feel like if it was Christian, I believe that's the young man's name, that was on camera assaulting Sha'Cari and put
a couple things that's personally, just in a relationship. I pretty much officers can understand what a relationship is about, but he lied. He's a liar, and that was something that I kind of just grasped, and emotionally, I'm just like, bet you do your thing. But
so Christian Coleman's mom just raised the drama to a whole new level because she straight up confronted Sha'Cari about that airport brawl. And let me tell you, it wasn't some calm sit-down talk, it was explosive. When that raw, unedited clip of Christian and Sha'Cari went viral, it didn't just expose how toxic their relationship looked, it confirmed Dr. Coleman's worst nightmare. Her son wasn't just in a messy situation. He was trapped in something that looked dangerous. And now the internet is split. Should she back off or step in and drag her son out of this mess before it gets worse? If you know Dr. Daphne Coleman, you already know she's not the type to sit back quietly while someone lays a hand on Christian. So nobody was surprised when she pulled up on Sha'Cari ready for war.
So this is the position that Christian Coleman puts me into, okay? Because he's a coward, and I don't want anything to do with him at this point going forward. My name is Sha'Carri Richardson. Have no problem with letting you know who I am, having put my hands on him. We had an argument. I will be honest about that. An argument, and that's pretty much it. The argument, pretty much, he's a liar. He lied about a couple things that's personally, just in a relationship. I pretty much, officers can understand what a relationship is about, but he lied. He's a liar, and that was something that I kind of just grasped, and emotionally, I'm just like, bet you do your thing, but you're asking me for things that is within my possession, and for my right, I don't have to give it to you because it's in my possession. But when it came to the point that I saw that he chose to make it more about the police and things of that nature, that showed that he made a choice. So I just want to be more professional and just come professionally and let you know, like, hey, relationship thing, have no problem, and walking up to you guys.
It's not
so
legal to
not
argue.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Was there any type of physical?
I didn't touch him. He didn't touch me. I will be honest.
Hit him with anything?
No, I haven't hit him with anything.
Like that?
But the shocking part wasn't that she showed up, it was how she showed up. Dr. Coleman didn't act like a worried mom poking into her son's business. She came in like a force of nature, eyes blazing, tongue sharp, ready to make sure her son wasn't anyone's punching bag. According to insiders who claim to have witnessed the showdown, Dr. Coleman stormed into that house with the kind of energy that could tear the roof down. And Sha'Cari? Please, she's not one to fold under pressure. Witnesses say she stood her ground, chest out, locking eyes with Christian's mom, daring her to back those threats up. For a full 3 minutes, it was a tense standoff, like a boxing match before the bell rings, until, thankfully, nobody actually swung. Everyone walked away in one piece, but the vibe was so heavy you could cut it with a knife. But here's the wildest part. Out of everything Dr. Coleman said that day, the line that hit the hardest wasn't her warning Sha'Cari to leave Christian alone, and it wasn't even the threat to call the cops if she ever touched him again. It was when she looked her dead in the eyes and said, "I always knew you were bad news from the moment Christian got involved with you, and now you've just proved me right." That cut deep, and it's got people buzzing. Were there warning signs all along that Christian was stuck in a volatile relationship? Did his mom ignore the red flags at first, just to keep the peace? Because now, looking back, it feels like everything's adding up. And just so you know, Sha'Cari and Christian weren't always caught up in all this mess. They actually started serving couple goals way back in 2023. On camera, Christian and Sha'Cari looked like the ultimate sports power couple. But behind the scenes, not everybody was clapping for their love story. Enter Dr. Daphne Coleman, Christian's mom. Now, she didn't come out swinging against Sha'Cari from the start, but even in those early days, she saw little red flags waving. The first thing that stood out to her,
Christian, are you serious right now?
So man, in
Christian.
Washington State, he doesn't get a say.
But I understand, we were arguing. But I understand entirely. We were arguing. Okay, I'm not gonna resist. But I'm telling you that we was arguing. I didn't know him. I didn't do anything wrong. But the fact that you guys are doing this to me, and he's the man in this situation, I'm gonna comply. I am. I'm not gonna argue with you at
I
all.
appreciate that.
But you have me on camera, but at the same time, what he has on camera, when I have my phone, shows something different. So if I need to show that, I will.
We have you on camera, it's all back here.
Okay, but I have my phone that shows something different. But Christian, thank you, Christian.
Don't talk to him right now.
Okay, I won't. Thank you so much, officer. They are arresting me right now, Christian. Sissy, they're arresting me right now. Am I gonna go actually to jail right now?
You are actually gonna go to jail.
Wait, but right now,
Yes, it's a physical
I didn't. Can he tell you that I didn't do nothing to him?
We have it on camera.
Christian, are you serious right now?
Alright.
Christian, I'm about to go to jail because of you right now. You know what? Okay. Okay. I will.
The personalities couldn't have been more different. Sha'Cari was loud, bold, always full of energy, sometimes too much energy, while Christian was the quiet, laid-back type. Daphne once bragged that her son was the good kid who always came home before curfew, and she wasn't exaggerating. That was Christian to his core. So when he linked up with Sha'Cari, those differences practically slapped Daphne in the face. To her, they didn't just clash, they looked doomed from the jump. But it wasn't just personality differences. Daphne allegedly became convinced Sha'Cari was trouble waiting to happen. Why? Because suddenly Christian's life started revolving around her. According to insiders, he couldn't come visit his family without Sha'Cari's green light, and family dinners would get canceled last minute because she needed him. That control was starting to show, and it wasn't pretty. Even worse, Daphne noticed the way Christian reacted anytime someone dared to criticize Sha'Cari. This wasn't just a son defending his girlfriend, it was different. Witnesses say his reactions came from a place of fear, like he was terrified of what would happen if anyone spoke badly about her. That's when it stopped looking like love and started looking like control.
It was just a sucky situation all around. Like, I don't feel as if like she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she has like things that she need to work on for herself, of course. And so do I, so do you, like everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just like extending grace and mercy and love. And I feel as if like I don't try to look at obstacles either. Like, I just look at like situations like this to just like, you know, take a step back, analyze yourself mentally, and then just try to see what you can do to be your best self so that you can move forward, so you can just be the type of person and a human that God needs you to be for his kingdom and for his glory. And so that's kind of how I look at it.
And then there were the phone calls. Daphne would try to reach her son, but instead of Christian answering, Sha'Cari would pick up. And sometimes she wouldn't even let Daphne speak to him. Add all of this up, and you've got one giant neon red flag. But here's the kicker. It wasn't just Daphne who saw the patterns. Friends, teammates, even family members started whispering that something wasn't right. And remember that mysterious post that went viral a few months back? The one that said, "You'll be so much happier when you accept that sometimes people aren't right for us, no matter how badly we want them to be." Yeah, that wasn't just a random quote floating around. Team USA athletes were reposting it left and right. At the time, that little quote floating around social media looked like just another relationship vibes post. But looking back now, the fact that so many of Christian's teammates reposted it feels less like random inspiration and more like a coded warning. They were basically screaming, "Bro, open your eyes!" But Christian either didn't catch the hint, or he flat out ignored it. Because when the raw, uncut footage of his blow-up with Sha'Cari hit the internet, it was crystal clear. This wasn't the first time things had gotten ugly. Nobody knows exactly what sparked that fight, but one thing's for sure. This wasn't your average messy couple argument. The video lined up perfectly with everything Daphne had been warning about for months. And the most chilling part? Christian's body language. He didn't look shocked or outraged. He looked used to it. Watch closely and you'll see it. Sha'Cari shoving him trying to walk away calmly, almost like this wasn't new at all. That alone said more than 1,000 words ever could. And the footage didn't just expose tension, it exposed Sha'Cari's true colors. Before the video surfaced, she tried to flip the narrative, painting herself as the victim and throwing Christian under the bus. But when she got arrested and the full, unedited police cam dropped, the mask slipped fast. At first, she played it cool, like it was just a normal couple's fight. But when she realized those cuffs were about to click, she snapped. Suddenly, she was lashing out, calling Christian names, accusing him of being a coward for letting her get arrested, and then spinning the whole thing like he had been the aggressor all along. And that wasn't even the worst part. She doubled down, ranting and blaming him for everything, until the truth came crashing down and exposed her as a liar. And just like that, silence. The yelling, the victim playing, the finger pointing, gone. But the real shocker wasn't her sudden quiet. It was Christian's next move. Instead of distancing himself after being humiliated and hurt in public, Christian stepped up as her defender, like the whole world hadn't just watched what happened. He came out in interviews preaching forgiveness, talking about showing Sha'Cari grace, and acting like nothing had ever happened. Fans were left stunned, asking, why is he protecting the very person who just tried to tear him down? Christian tried to spin it, saying Sha'Cari needed help, and that she shouldn't have to face harsh consequences for her actions. But that defense? That was the breaking point for his mom, Daphne. Watching her son stand in front of cameras, defending someone who had just gone hands-on with him, wasn't just painful. It was devastating. And what made it worse? His body language. Fans picked up on it instantly. Christian wasn't sitting tall. He wasn't confident. He couldn't even look into the camera. The clip didn't show a man speaking from the heart. It showed someone shrinking, like every word had been drilled into him out of fear. Viewers were quick to say it. This wasn't love. It looked like control. And before anyone could accuse Daphne of being dramatic, the internet had her back. Fans started flooding comments, calling out what they saw. One wrote, "Next time she comes after you, it won't just be messy, it'll get worse. If she hit you once in public, she'll do it again. You're about to be a punching bag." Another pointed out the coldest fact. "She told the police it was you, while you're out here defending her." That's what had people sick. Christian was covering for someone who had already thrown him under the bus. But Daphne didn't clap back this time. She didn't say a word. Because before she could even process her son's interview, Sha'Cari pulled her next stunt, an apology video that sent the internet into chaos. Now you'd think after being caught on camera putting hands on her boyfriend, then lying to cops, Sha'Cari would sit down, humble herself, and show at least a shred of remorse. Fans expected it. Christian's family definitely expected it. But instead, she delivered what many are calling the fakest apology of the year. It was just a 1-minute clip, but it left a nasty taste in everyone's mouth. Sure, she said she was taking accountability and reflecting, but the whole time she was smiling, like it was one big joke. That grin turned what should have been a serious, heavy apology into something that looked like pure mockery. And for Christian's mom, that wasn't an apology. It was a slap in the face. That 1-minute apology told fans everything. They saw exactly how seriously Sha'Cari was taking the situation, which was not at all. And just when people thought it couldn't get worse, she doubled down, posting another so-called apology in her Instagram stories, this time addressed directly to Christian. The post read, "I apologized to Christian. He came into my life and gave me more than a relationship, but a greater understanding of unconditional love. From what I've experienced in my past, due to my trauma and pain, I was blind and blocked off to not only receive it, but give it. I love him, and to him, I can't apologize enough. My apologies should be just as loud as my actions, honestly louder. To Christian, I love you and I am so sorry." Now on paper, that might sound sweet, but fans weren't buying it for a second. They ripped her apart online, calling it the fakest PR spin they'd seen in ages. One fan wrote, "That Sha'Cari apology video was the most unserious thing I've seen in a long time. What kind of half-hearted excuse is that?" The consensus was clear. She wasn't sorry, she was just trying to save face. And if Christian's mom, Daphne, was already fuming before, these half-baked apologies pushed her over the edge. She pulled her son aside and flat out told him, "Dump Sha'Cari before it's too late." And just to drive her point home, she went public, reposting IG stories that screamed cryptic warnings. One of them read, "No matter how good you think it is, there's always better out there. Choose yourself." With that, Daphne officially shifted from private warnings to blasting her message online for everyone to see. Meanwhile, Christian? Gone. No posts, no statements, no defense, nothing. The only sign of him was a reported flight out of the country, and since then, radio silence. As for Sha'Cari, the loudest woman in the room suddenly went quiet. No interviews, no races, no updates. Nothing but silence after those shaky apologies. And that's what's keeping people glued to this saga, because the questions hanging in the air are heavy. If Christian is truly done, why is he still protecting her? If Daphne's right, and this wasn't the first time, how many times has it happened behind closed doors? And most of all, if Sha'Carri's silence means she's plotting her next move, what bombshell is she about to drop when the world's already turned against her? Let me know what you think about this wild drama in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Juice Alert, and I'll see you in the next one.